Christ the King, the arraignment before Pilate. The passage, when morning came, the chief priests and elders decided to put Jesus to death, bound him, and handed him to Pilate the governor. Pilate asked whether he was the king of the Jews, and Jesus answered, "Thou sayest." When the priests and elders accused him, he said nothing at all, so that Pilate marveled. At the feast, the governor used to release one prisoner the people chose. There was a notable prisoner, Barabbas. Pilate, knowing the priests had handed Jesus over out of envy, asked which of the two they wanted freed, but the priests persuaded the crowd to ask for Barabbas and destroy Jesus. When asked, they said Barabbas, and when asked what to do with Jesus, they cried, "Let him be crucified." Pilate asked what evil he had done, but they only cried out the more. Seeing he could do nothing and a riot was starting, Pilate washed his hands, declaring himself innocent of this just man's blood, and the people said, "His blood be on us and on our children." He released Barabbas, scourged Jesus, and handed him over to be crucified. The soldiers gathered the whole band, stripped him, put a scarlet robe on him, plaited a crown of thorns for his head, and gave him a reed, then bowed and mocked him, "Hail, King of the Jews!" spitting on him and striking him with the reed. Afterward they dressed him again in his own clothes and led him off to be crucified. The parts I have left out in Matthew concern the death of Judas and the message from Pilate's wife. What belongs only to St. Luke is the whole account of Jesus being sent to Herod. What all three accounts bring out is that Jesus is accused, mocked, and condemned as a king. Pilate is never allowed to treat the matter any other way. He does everything he can to show his contempt for the charge. His insults, like those Luke records from Herod, are Roman jokes at the Jewish nation, partly political, meant to show how little he feared a Jewish rising, partly the ordinary pride of a conqueror, partly merciful to save the man from punishment by making him contemptible. I am convinced Barabbas, though a brigand, was more than an ordinary robber. He was one of those who had gone into the wilderness as a kind of chieftain and Christ, claiming a divine commission to free the people. The priests probably disliked Barabbas heartily, as one of those insurgent leaders who interfered with their own hold on the people even more than they shook Rome's power. The people would be surprised to hear the priests urging the release of a man whose death had seemed certain. They would welcome it as a generous concession and be easily led to leave the other victim to his fate. In effect, the priests were saying and feeling, "This is the more dangerous of the two pretenders, though he comes with less violence, he is the real underminer of Caesar's throne." Their thoughts were surely very mixed. Partly they really thought him a blasphemer, partly they hated him for denouncing them. They were insincere in pretending any love for Roman rule, yet they believed it safer for the nation and themselves than whatever might come if it broke up. They half thought him a mere impostor, and half suspected some mysterious royalty in him. So they could easily justify their acts to themselves. In their own minds, nothing in their accusations was directly false. It is inward, spiritual falsehood that the evangelists charge them with. Their acts the evangelists see as expressing and bringing out the most precious and living of all truths. Pilate they see as adding his own Gentile testimony to that truth, for this was the inscription he set on the cross in Greek, Latin, and Hebrew: "This is Jesus, the King of the Jews."